Hello everyone. So I was lucky to receive a review copy from Keymailer and Blue Wizard Digital for Slayaway Camp 2. Slayaway Camp 2 is a sequel to the well-received puzzle game that draws on the classic horror movie genre. Once again, players are put in control of mass maniac Skullface, who has returned and been summoned yet again, and players will relish loads of gore-tastic content and a surprisingly various amount of playable killers, several of which fall into different classes. Each class holds a specific ability or power that you can utilize in each puzzle within the game. The overall aesthetic of the game tunes into the charm and feel of those old 70s or 80s horror slasher films. Skullface is trapped in a horror-esque version of YouTube, which this time around is brilliantly dubbed TerrorTube. All the while, shred-filled rock music is blaring beautiful bliss into our ears, gearing us up for the next kill. Just a quick note, I loved the stylish, creative, and unique thumbnails and movie titles that were presented on this interface. TerrorTube itself is brilliant. I found myself roaming around this landscape of the game for a while and honestly really enjoying myself and employing several laughs. Gameplay itself is solid, a bit easy at first, but that's to be expected as the game teaches you its mechanics, especially newcomers, and it quickly ramps up into head-scratching puzzles that will push and test your critical thinking skills. I will say, personally, the ramp felt a bit steep. It went from rather too easy to quite difficult pretty fast, so take that into account. However, I will say that the puzzles themselves are generally a lot of fun and very much rewarding when you do figure them out. This time around, Slayaway Camp introduces new elements in the form of crates, mines, dirty cops, boulders, shotgun-toting civilians, and quite honestly, a lot more, but most of which I don't really want to spoil because a lot of them are very fun and unique in the way that they play out within each puzzle. With a wide range of titles to choose from that all employ different aesthetics and gameplay mechanics, puzzles hardly get stale or repetitive. The rewind feature, should you happen to drop the machete and miss a kill, allows for a fun VHS-like effect so you can return back to your previous move and try once again. A solutions option that will first provide a tip and then ask you if you want the full solution. Upon confirmation, of course, will show you the way to go. I will say that there are generally quite a few puzzles here that push my brain for longer than I'd like to admit, and unfortunately a few that I did take a look at the solution for. In addition to the core gameplay loop, there's an addition of solid various mini-games throughout, all of which some unlock characters, other are just for stars that you can use to unlock further titles. But in addition to this, there's also an endless slaughter fest mode, which is fun. Chop your way up to a high score, see how far you can get on the leaderboard. And the collections tab is a nice way to look at all the various killers you've unlocked and various collectibles you found throughout. Slayaway Camp 2 is easily more than enough blood for your bank with all of these modes. Speaking of blood, the death animations here are brutal, and horror fans, specifically those that enjoy gore, are well to be served here. But if you don't like that type of stuff or you're squeamish, it might be best you return this horror show back to where you got it from. I will say though, the game does take into consideration for all audiences, and there's an array of trigger warnings in the settings menu, none of which censor anything for the most part and merely add a few seconds of warning prior to the actual events playing out. However, it's nice to see that Blue Wizard Digital offers some sort of accessibility for this stuff, and hopefully more before its actual release date can be implemented. No release date provided yet, but do wishlist this on Steam and stay tuned to find out when this horror gem drops. I had a pleasure playing this game. I think I'm going to keep playing it. It's honestly a lot of fun, so definitely recommend it.